Okay, the next step is to lay your pieces of fabric with the right sides together in the crotch seam or the inner seam. So all you want to do is you want to lay out one set of fabric that you just sewed down, and then you're going to want to lay the other piece right on top, matching the inner seam first. So the most important thing I do, one, trim your threads. It should be something that you do as you go along. That way they don't get bunched up in there. But the best thing to do in this step is to match your seams as close as possible, and then lay your seam allowance flat on both sides like this. Okay, so you should be able to see that it's flat there and flat there. If you don't match these up perfectly, your pants aren't going to fit correctly, and you're going to have a weird bunching going on. So you want to make sure that it's completely flat on both sides. So I always pin this first, so you can see how the seam allowance is on the side like that, and then same with this side, it's completely flat, and the seam matches in the middle like so. Because you're going to make this U stitch, or the crotch seam, but you want to line those up first. I'll spread this out to make some room here. So as you go, you're going to want to pick whatever side to start pinning. I'm going to start over here, and you're going to match these up as close as possible all the way through the U. Every couple fingers. Now the key with this is you're going to have to stitch it twice, because this is where the most stress happens on your fabric when you're standing and sitting, standing and sitting, standing and sitting. This creates the most stress. So the last thing that you want to happen is to have a hole in your pants in the crotch area or in your butt, and you sit down and everybody can see your underwear. So you want to make sure that you just pin all the way through. Okay, we have it all pinned. Now we're going to stitch the U. First stitch is going to be 5/8. Remember to always back stitch. So keep going until you get to the center. Okay, so you notice that I'm at the center seam here, where we matched up and made sure that these were flat. You want to go over this very slowly, because you're going to take your pin out before you start going. So when you get close here, you want to make sure that this remains flat underneath. You can still see the right side of the fabric. So you're going to go straight across, making sure that it's still wide open. And then you're going to continue through the other side of the U until you reach the top of the edge of the pants again. And then once you get that done with the 5/8, I'll show you. We'll go back and do it on the 1/4 seam allowance.